I needed to go to the grocery store, so this meal is really just a throw together of things that I had around the house. I did end up going to the store after dinner. Anyways, I don't want to talk about dinner. Instead, I'd like to read you some poetry, if that's okay. This is from my Edgar Allan Poe collection, and it's called The Poetic Principle. The day is done, and the darkness falls from the wings of night, as a feather is wafted downward from an eagle in his flight. I see the lights of the village gleam through the rain and the mist, and a feeling of sadness comes o'er me that my soul cannot resist. A feeling of sadness and longing that is not akin to pain, and resembles sorrow only, as the mist resembles the rain. Come read to me some poem, some simple and heartfelt lay, that shall soothe this restless feeling and banish the thoughts of day. Not from the grand old masters, not from the bards sublime, whose distant footsteps echo through the corridors of time. For like strains of martial music, their mighty thoughts suggest life's endless toil and endeavor, and tonight I long for rest. Read from some humbler poet, whose songs gushed from his heart, as showers from the clouds of summer, or tears from the eyelids start, who through long days of labor and nights devoid of ease, still heard in his soul the music of wonderful melodies. Such songs have power to quiet the restless pulse of care, and come like the benediction that follows after prayer. Then read from the treasured volume the poems of thy choice, and lend to the rhyme of the poet the beauty of thy voice. And the night shall be filled with music, and the cares that infest the day shall fold their tents like the Arabs, and as silently steal away. And that actually, in my book, comes before the miscellaneous poems. And of course, the first of the miscellaneous poems is everybody's favorite, The Raven, which I will be reading next time. I kind of wanted to make something better to go with that poem. So if you enjoyed this reading and you want me to do more, just let me know, because I have the complete works of Poe from 1876. So it's an older series and it's all 4 books. In the meantime, let's talk about this dinner I prepared. I had this roast, and it was actually 2 roasts, and I didn't have time to make a roast, so I thought I'd make them more steak-like, but I didn't have any vegetables, so I thought I would make like a strawberry cream, I don't know, to go with it. It made sense in my head, and honestly, it wasn't bad. It just didn't really make sense together. I just had to improvise because I still needed to go to the grocery store and I wanted to feed everybody before I left. The strawberry concoction was actually pretty good if you have like crackers, which I did, but it's kind of weird just to eat by itself. I wish I would have had like green beans or something. When I went to the store, I was going to get green beans, but I'm like, now I don't know what I'm making. So I just got stuff for soup because I was thinking I can take the meat, because there was still lots of leftover meat. I can take the meat that's left over, cut it into smaller chunks, and throw it in my soup. So that's going to be my plan for when I make soup tonight. I'm going to take the leftover meat that wasn't eaten and turn it into soup. Sometimes when you mess something up, you can recycle it for another meal as long as it's not too messed up. And I feel like it wasn't terrible. It probably needed to be cooked a little longer. And the strawberry cream concoction was supposed to be eaten with bananas. That would have really made it good. But the kids ate the bananas by themselves because I wasn't feeling good this morning, so I couldn't serve it. Oh, also, back to poetry. I have more than just Edgar Allan Poe. I also have some Shakespeare and a bunch of other stuff because I collect old books. I have this whole collection. If you guys want, I can show you what I've got, and you guys can let me know what you'd like to see, what you'd like to hear. Or if you absolutely hate poetry and you never want me to do that again and you'd prefer I just stick to talking about the food, then let me know that. I definitely take your suggestions seriously as long as they're within reason. Obviously, if you're just going to come at me like, oh, you're exploiting your family, stop trying to support them, then yeah, I'm going to ignore that. I'm just saying, if you have actual suggestions or ideas or questions, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out, following, liking, subscribing, and see you again soon.